This is FNN, where we give facts, not nonsense. Okay, so our breaking news for today. The Florida Supreme Court allows a 6-week abortion ban passed by the legislature to stay in place. Voters will vote in November on a separate issue related to abortion. So today, the Florida Supreme Court overturned decades of legal precedent in ruling that the state's constitution's privacy protections do not extend to abortion, allowing them to enforce a 6-week ban. Now, a separate decision, which is the second part of this, said that a proposed constitutional amendment that would guarantee the right to abortion before viability, usually around 24 weeks, could go on the November ballot, and probably will. Now, 2 years ago, the court found that a 15-week ban passed by the legislature was constitutional after Roe was overturned by the Dobbs v. Jackson decision in 2022 by the U.S. official Supreme Court. It gives Florida abortion rights groups a final chance to fight for abortion rights in the state. If that measure about viability were not to pass, then abortion rights are not there in Florida. And over at least 7 states have now have ballot measures related to abortion this year. Okay, so election 2024. Now, you can see my election map here. The reason I've made it so small is that there are no road changes. The only is Nevada going slightly to the right and North Carolina going to a toss-up. But today's focus, why North Carolina could be the tipping point state. Now, it is definitely more of a toss-up this year than it was in previous years. You can say, oh, Biden won Arizona and Georgia in 2020. Well, fine. Now, here is the reason why I think it could be a tipping point state. There's a very high-profile governor's race going on this year with a not popular Republican nominee, Mark Robinson, current lieutenant governor of North Carolina, who over the past 4 years has repeatedly, taken Trump conspiracy theories, supported them, conspiracy theories in general. The Biden campaign already has 3 full-time staffers on the ground in North Carolina, triple that of Georgia. And Attorney General Josh Stein will be running against Mark Robinson. Now, in polling, as you can see, next to the Trump-Biden, Trump's only up by 3 points. In Georgia, latest poll is up by 5 or 6. And in this North Carolina governor's race, Josh Stein's up by 2. Down ballot voting, much more popular in an election year. That could endanger people this year, such as, John Tester and Sherrod Brown in Republican states with Senate races. So that's really my case, why I think that race is going to be maybe the tipping point state of the whole election. All right, news for April 1st. Donald Trump's net worth plunged by over $1 billion after Trump media shares fell 20%. They plunged after Trump media's announcement of a $58 million net loss in 2023. That's related to Donald Trump's whole social network, which is Truth Social, the site he started after Twitter banned him 3 years ago. And despite hard-right Republican critics, Mike Johnson has said that he intends to go through with the Ukraine aid bill. Now, Democrats have been pressuring him to do this forever. They said, following Marjorie Taylor Greene's motion to vacate, they said that they would vote for Johnson for Speaker if he can get this done. Johnson has been trying to push. He's trying to tie it to a measure that would reverse a bill and gain some natural gas access back, a bill that Biden signed recently. Meanwhile, for the stocks, the Dow was down 0.75% or 240.52. NASDAQ was up around 0.1% or 17.37. S&P was down 10.58 or about 1/5%. And finally, U.S. temperatures and an April snowstorm for the East and the Midwest. So first, U.S. high temperatures today. It's a weirdly warm week in the Rockies, while we're seeing some chilly air kind of in the Northeast, which will come tomorrow. A lot of rain in the Northeast, a lot of precipitation. If you're out there this week, it's not going to be a fun week. But next week, if you're in the Northeast, get ready for some nice weather. But besides that, pretty average day. Now, tomorrow, there's going to be some weird temperatures. It's going to be cold kind of in the south up until a point. It's going to be like 61 in northern Texas, which will be nice for the people up there, cold in the Northeast. But the eastern snowstorm, we could see over 1 foot of snow in states like Wisconsin, Michigan, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. It's April. A lot of drenching of precipitation this week in the Northeast. This has been FNN, where we give facts, not nonsense. Thank you for watching.